In this lecture, students, I'll be explaining you the different channels of communication. The interaction between different individuals working in a company or an organization takes place through different channels. Channel, students, are the paths through which the message travels from the sender to the receiver. Basically, there are two channels of communication, formal and informal one. A formal communication channel, students, refers to formal methods of communication which are bound with all rules and regulations. Whereas informal channels transmit official news through unofficial and informal communicative interaction. Now let's discuss both the channels in detail. Formal communication channel, students, which is in the form of order, conferences, special interviews, memorandums, flows in these four directions. First is downward channel of communication, then is upward, horizontal and diagonal. Downward communication, students, occurs when information and message flows down through an organization's formal chain of command or hierarchical structure. That means downward communication is the information that is exchanged between the superiors and the subordinates. The higher authority transforms work related information to the employees at the lower levels. There is a chain of command, orders, directions, instructions in the form of circulars, notices, letters, oral commands, etc. This figure clearly reflects how the information travels from higher authority to the lower authority. The managing director transmits work related information to the general manager, and from the general manager the information reaches the sectional managers, and from the sectional managers the information goes to the supervisors, and finally the work related information reaches the staff and the workers. Now the upward communication. Upward communication is the process of information flowing from lower level of a hierarchy to the upper level. That means, students, the information or the communication flows from lower level to the upper level. And this figure clearly reflects how the information travels from the juniors to the seniors. The workers convey the work related information to the supervisor, then the information travels to the production manager, and from the assistant production manager it reaches the manager. Students, the employees use upward communication to convey their problems and suggestions to the higher authority. And they also use this channel of communication to give their feedback of the task assigned to them by the higher authority. There are certain advantages of upward communication also, students. It fosters friendly relations between the employees at the junior level and the employees at the senior level. No doubt, I have already told you that it is used to give feedback to the seniors. Then it is a two-way process because both are communicating, employees at junior level and the employees at the senior level. And even the junior employees can give suggestions to the seniors, and it also boosts the morale of the employees. Now next is the horizontal communication. Horizontal communication takes place, students, at the same level of hierarchy in an organization. It is also called lateral communication. This figure clearly reflects how the information travels at the same level. So it takes place among members of same work group at the same level. There is no superiority or inferiority complex. And this horizontal communication, students, facilitates cooperation and helps in solving various problems. Now the diagonal communication. Diagonal communication is that communication, students, where there is exchange of information between a manager and employees of other work groups or departments. That means diagonal communication takes place at different levels in the hierarchy. So students, this is a cross-functional communication, and which is very much helpful in solving problems. So this figure clearly reflects how diagonal communication is a cross-functional communication. Now students, That was all about the informal communication formal communication channels. Now let's discuss the informal communication channels. Informal communication, students, is a casual form of information sharing with friends or family members. Informal communication is also used in every organization. This is known as grapevine. So students, grapevine is a communication system or process which is barely informal communication system. It is comprised of gossip, rumor. The main purpose is to get pleasure. This grapevine, students, does not follow a formal path. So the grapevine travels fast in every direction in an organization. It can be explained in 4 different networks. This figure reflects all the 4 different networks which are used to explain grapevine. Let's take the single strand model of grapevine. So in this pattern we can see that one person tells the information to the second person, A gives the information to B, then it travels to C and then to D and so on. Thus the chain keeps on moving, and within few hours every employee in the organization comes to know of the information. Then students, cluster model of grapevine. In this model, students, this chain also travels much faster than the straight chain. As in this chain, students, one person shares the information with 2 or more persons, and then those persons further share this information with some other people, and in this way the information reaches all the people in the organization within few hours. Here in this through this model, cluster model, this pattern, the information travels fast as compared to the single strand chain model. Now next is gossip pattern of grapevine. This is the fastest model of communication, students. In this model, one person shares the information with all the employees in a group, and it reaches every employee in the organization within few minutes. Then we have the probability model of grapevine, and we can see in this model each candidate randomly tells the information to the other. There is no formal channel, there is no formal path in grapevine patterns. So we have seen that this informal channel of communication spreads at a fast speed. This basically acts as a source of humor and relaxations. No doubt it satisfies the need to have friendly relations. It is more like a humor because the contents may not be real one. Students, it has demerits also. One of the major drawback of this grapevine is that it spreads baseless or distorted information, and there are more chances of misunderstanding. So that's all, students. This was grapevine model of grapevine in or informal channel of communication. I hope it is clear to all. Thank you.